Well, another video. I ain't made one in a while. Alright, what is up guys? Today I am back with another video, and today I kind of just wanted to talk about, like what's been going on in CHH as of late, man. There's been so much like news and just stuff going on that I really haven't had the time to cover that I want to cover in this video, and kind of just like not really give like a full news type of video, but just more so like just combine everything into one video, jumbled it up. Give like my short 30-second to 1 minute like thoughts of like just my reaction to like just everything going on right now, just because there's a lot of stuff going on, and honestly, admittedly, I've been busy in my own life with a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff going on with the channel, man. Now, for those of you who don't know, I actually collabed and partnered with Rapzilla for to release a video on their channel, and if y'all haven't checked it out, man, definitely go watch it. It's a great video. 10 out of 10 stars. Definitely go check it out, man, because your mans is moving around here. I brick outside, yo. I don't know what that was. But not for real. So I got that going on. And also as well, lately, if you guys notice with like the direction or trend I've been pushing towards with this channel, is that I've been dropping a lot of like just reels, interview bits, everything like that, just trying to interview different personnels around the space and everything like that, just for the time being. But as of late, I dropped recently an interview with Justin Serchik, the editor of Rapzilla, so definitely go check that out. But also as well, guys, I've been working on the top secret interview, man. Yeah, no, it's I've been working on an interview that I haven't really spoken much or on about. That's probably going to be rolling out next week with an artist who I would say, I don't know if they're like the biggest artist in the space, but they're definitely an artist who has contributed, I would say, a lot to the space of Christian hip hop and beyond, pretty much doing well for themselves. And I thought having them on the channel, I could definitely ask a lot of questions that aren't typically being asked around CHH, especially in particular to this artist and what they've done in the past and everything like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. If you guys want to guess who it is, let me know below in the comments. I won't spoil anything. If you guys want to throw names out there, maybe I'll give you a shout out. I don't know. I'll just make you that special. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead and feel free to guess who the artist is that I'm gonna be rolling out the interviews for next week. And yeah, man, let's just jump right into this video. All right, so first topic of the video is Gawvi. Now, that is a name you guys have not heard in a long time. That is a name I have not heard in a long time. And it's a name that, I thought eventually at some point we were going to have to talk about at some point, because if you guys already didn't know, Gawvi is actually planning on revving up and dropping music again, specifically his album called Atmosphere. And it's a very interesting state in which like he's in at this point in his career, with the whole controversy last year, with the whole mess that was and everything that became to be. And there were so many different camps of people that, like, when I had dropped that video last year on the whole situation, there were so many camps of people saying they were gonna never listen to his music again, people who were low-key kind of like downplaying the whole situation with just covering it up and just saying, he should be forgiven, which he should, but people kind of just low-key just downplaying it and downplaying the severity, how much the situation actually like really impacted people, and not really knowing the full scope of everything that happened. And then just you had people like me in the middle who kind of just didn't really know what to make of it. But yeah, it's definitely interesting time and place he's in, because I think with this album it's really gonna show where he's gonna go, and just the sincerity of where he's coming from. Is he gonna go into this album not addressing anything that had happened in the last year? If he doesn't, that's really gonna be an L on his part, just because usually when celebrities, influencers, or anyone kind of get, thrown into these types of situations and they don't address anything that happens, it's pretty much a straight cover-up. So, we'll see if he addresses it or not. I think regardless of what happens, it says a lot about a person if they're willing to just address everything and just be transparent and sincere. It's like the saying I've heard, that a man who doesn't correct his first mistake is making a second mistake. So we'll see what becomes of that. And yeah. All right, now next topic on this video is pretty much the whole Walk record. If you guys didn't know, that Walk song that Lecrae and Gawvi dropped, it's a fire joint. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna downplay. It's fire. Walk. It's gold. It's it's definitely, especially with the whole drill sound, it's not something that's heard around like the CHH space before or anything like that. So it's definitely a great song, but I'm not gonna lie, it could be better. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Yes, it could be better, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great song. I can't even deny it. I mean, there's a lot of people replaying the song and just pushing the song and all that. But the one thing is that, like, I mean, like, whenever I listen to the song, I won't even lie, there's one thing missing, and the fact that Limo Blaze is not on the song. I don't know why. Every time I listen to it, I always think this is literally a record for Limo Blaze, even though he's more into kind of like the Afrobeat scene. I don't know, just with him kind of like having just African roots, kind of like, I guess, like upbringing around the UK and the UK music scene. I don't know. I just figured this would be, I guess, like, especially a great way to like really integrate yourself into like the American audience, just because typically with international artists, one thing is, one of the biggest obstacles is breaking into the American scene, just because the sound is different from where you might be coming from, and who knows, people around the American music scene, they might not digest your music as they could like initially. So I mean, yeah, no, it'd be great to see him jumping on the song. Honestly, I don't know why, but every time it gets played, I always think there's like a hook or like a spot or just a verse for Limo to like be on, just because I think this will be a great way for people to just truly and fully be introduced to like listening to him. But either way, I mean, like, yeah, it's a great record honestly. But yeah, what can I say? Okay, next on this list, we got NoBigDyl, man. Back in January, when I did the interview with Justin, he was talking about how he's been talking to people, you know, around NoBigDyl, and with that, like, he's basically about to drop his first full body of work since I believe the Lowercase tape. And you know, 2023, I think it's proper to definitely drop an album. I think it's the right timing for it, just because, yeah, we haven't heard any music from him in a while. I think he dropped like like 3 solid or just great projects early on in his career, and then I mean, like, yeah, like, we haven't heard any full projects from him, like, yeah, since 2019. So literally between the space of the pandemic and everything like that, we haven't heard a project from him in a while. And I don't know, I think the time's fitting for it. I think it's about time. No one's really bringing it up or talking about it, because I mean, he's been touring, he's been dropping singles here and there. I mean, he worked a lot of stuff behind the scenes with the Indie Tribe stuff. He toured with KB. I mean, like, I don't know, it's definitely fitting. I think it's about time, man. And yeah, we'll see what he has to say. But you can never say no to a NoBigDyl project. So yeah, we'll be waiting, man. All right, now next on this video, deluxe. Everybody gets a deluxe. Oh my goodness. The amount of deluxes, or I can't say they're crazy, like, there's a crazy amount of deluxes, but the time for people following up on their music is kicking in, man. Lecrae dropping the deluxe to Church Goes 4. I mean, I'm going to be jumping in there as well. DJ Michael V dropping the Bodega Deluxe Edition. And interestingly enough, if you follow Proper Excel, which is a definitely dope page y'all should follow, but when you follow just, I guess, the missing features that are going to be on the deluxe that nobody knows about, it makes me think that it's probably going to be like a whole part 2 Bodega. I don't know, but usually deluxes are like 3-4 songs, but it makes me think that like Bodega's literally going to be just a part 2, which I don't know if it is, but if it is, man, hey man, I'm all for it. I can't say no to something like that. So I'm definitely excited for that and what becomes of it. And also as well, What Up RG, who's not really dropping a deluxe, but there's been a lot of talks of people saying that he's basically following up with New Hollywood, just because he went on a live playing some unreleased music. People are saying that he's basically going to be following up with just some singles, just because, yeah, I mean, it's been years, man, since we heard any other new music from RG. And I mean, like, it was necessary, just because he put so much time into New Hollywood that, I mean, yeah, no, now we're kind of like, I don't think New Hollywood's had time to settle in yet. I think people are still getting a good amount of just replay value out of it. I'm bumping that project still, but I mean, like, if he does plan on dropping music, I mean, like, I don't see why not. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, that I'm excited for. People are dropping just deluxes, follow-ups, music. It's crazy, man. All right, NF, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that he just dropped a music video to his song called Hope. Now, honestly, I'm not the biggest NF listener. I mean, I used to listen to him a fair amount when he first popped off in 2016, 2017, or around that sphere, that time frame. And I mean, like, that was when like CCM was really boosting him up and promoting him, and just like, he was really, I guess, like, he was really known around the whole Christian music space and sphere and all that, and he was kind of like almost like this beloved child. Over the years, seeing that, I mean, like, I just don't listen to his music as much anymore, and to hear him like dropping music, I mean, it's, I guess, I don't know, it's interesting, it's eye-catching, but it does have a lot of people talking just because of the fact that it is his first time in his career that you see him wearing white in his music video. Wearing black has always been a trademark of NF. It's always been like a signature part of his brand, really, and it's really how he mostly built up his fan base, just because a lot of his music was built up off just making moody music, dark music, and all that stuff. And me personally, like, that's part of why I just stopped listening to it, just because after a while, like, you can't really be in that headspace. It's making music from pain and your experiences. It's definitely great, but after a while, like, it's just not for people after a while. But all throughout his career, he's been able to build up his fan base pretty successfully. But yeah, to see him in white, it's definitely interesting, and it definitely has a lot of people around the Christian space, I guess, talking, just because he's wearing white, and people are wondering, with this song called Hope, is he turning to God a lot more? Is he overtly speaking on that a lot more? Just because his career has been pretty flip-floppy in terms of just where he stands in his faith and everything like that. It's definitely okay to go through seasons where you're just not sure, but it's always been this weird and just huge question mark about just how much his identity in his belief in God and just being a Christian, how much does that stand into his brand as an artist and everything like that, just because that's how he came up. He pretty much came up in the Christian music scene and everything like that. So it's pretty interesting to see, but I don't really have much else to say on it. So I watched the video, definitely go check it out, and yeah. All right, man, so next on the list, I mean, P, man, like Paris P. I don't know what to call you, but Paris Chariz is definitely, I mean, it's looking like it's album season for Paris. I mean, I know he's brought it up here and there on his stories, or just like little posts here and there, but from my understanding, it does look like he is gearing up to drop new music. So whether it's to say it's an album or not, I don't really know. But what's interesting that I do know is that in a post he did, or an interview snippet he gave out, he talked about how with his music now, he's going in a new direction of not really making music from a place of pain.
I'll give you an example. When I first got out of depression, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make music, because I only made music while I was depressed.
Yeah.
So the moment I wasn't depressed, I was like, what do I say? Like, I'm happy.
Because it was like your source of material. Your
like, I'm sad.
yeah.
I feel like that's a really dangerous trope, is the sad artist, or like
yeah.
Feeling like you have to be sad to make music.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of artists can do that and find a lot of success with it, just because a lot of people resonate to make music from just painful experiences, because a lot of people can just connect with you on a deeper level. But Paris was just talking about how he's ready to just move in a different direction in a different season, and it's definitely interesting to see, just because that's kind of how I saw Paris early on in his career, just somebody who did make music from that place of pain, and somebody who rocked with him for that, somebody who definitely connected on that level with just his story and everything like that. And from Polaroid to, I think, a little bit, In My Weakness, the biggest question that I started asking myself was, what does Paris look like outside of just making music from a place of pain? And I think 2045 kind of like we saw a little bit of that. And I mean, like, if he does drop an album this year or a project this year, that's kind of like what a lot of people are going to be asking. Like, what does Paris Chariz making music not from a place of pain look like? Just because I think a lot of artists do have to answer that question at some point in their career. And I think that's kind of like the next step, or I guess like obstacle for Paris. We'll see how that looks like, man. But yeah. All right, now MoglitheIcebrug. The reason I'm bringing him up is because, interestingly enough, he dropped like this 2-minute video talking about how he can't afford to drop an album, and I thought that was interesting. I watched it through, and he basically talked about how he can't afford to drop an album, not because he doesn't have the financial means to drop and make music, but he was talking about how creatively he can't afford to drop an album just because of how music is has wholly just shifted and changed in 2023. Listening to music is just not the same as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And getting people to listen to an album from the start to finish, it's pretty hard just for people to value your story or just what you're speaking on into an album in this day and age. And I mean, when he was speaking on this, I mean, now some people might think that maybe that sounds like, you know, he just fell off or something. I don't know. Which isn't the case at all, especially coming out like 2 years ago. He dropped a pretty, honestly, like I would say it was one of the best albums of 2020. Sad People Make Dope Music. And that album alone, I mean, I was running that album like all throughout the year, mostly in the summer especially, but so many great features and collaborations with Paris Chariz, NoBigDyl, and just so many more. Sad People Make Dope Music too. Like that was an album that I didn't expect to be at the top of my list in 2020, but it was a great album overall. But looking back 2-3 years later, I think a lot of fans would expect their favorite artist to gear up for another big project or album, but that really isn't the case. And Mowgli has just stated that he really just mainly wants to focus on building up his fan base to be able to listen to more of his music by just dropping singles. And honestly, I think it's a pretty great idea. I think it's a smart idea as well, just because if you're going to spend your whole career making music, at some point, I mean, you just can't be dropping albums all the time, man. Honestly, like dropping singles for a good amount of time. I know a lot of artists have done this, but just sometimes just dropping singles or just a string of singles, whether if it's just even for a whole straight year, sometimes it's just even like the best way to go about things. But I thought it was definitely interesting just to listen to, just because it's been a while since we've heard like a full, I guess, like project from him. I know he had like a few things here and there thrown around in 2022, but I just thought it was interesting. So yeah, but yeah, I don't know why this video just turned into me just talking about artists dropping albums. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the video. I don't have anything else much more to add other than to like I said at the beginning of the video, definitely check out that Rapzilla collaboration video I did with Rapzilla. You can check it out on their channel. And I mean, yeah, go check it out. A lot of people liked it. Some people even want a part 2 to that video I did for them. So definitely check that out. And also as well, like I said, I got a great interview with a CHH artist that I think you guys will definitely want to tune into. Or I mean, when I drop it, I know you guys will definitely click on it, because this artist, like I said, like I think they have a lot to talk about in their career and just what they accomplished and everything like that, and just where they're at now. So yeah, take care, guys.